All right, and everybody, this is Alexandra Carr. She's mayor for a day, and the certificate reads, "The certificate is proudly presented to Alexandra Carr for excellence in having participated in Mayor for a Day in the Village of Willow Springs. Thank you for your service to our community." Presented on this 19th day of August in 2021.
Future mayor. Yeah. And future mayor in training. Okay.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the village board meeting for the village. Should I restart? Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the village board meeting for the village of Willow Springs. We are conducting our meeting tonight simultaneously by Zoom, and it is being recorded. Today is Thursday, August 19th, 2021. I hereby call this meeting to order at 7 p.m. Clerk Charles, could you please take the roll call?
Trustee Ara,
Here.
Kennedy,
Here.
Micah,
Here.
Posh,
Here.
Moon. That's okay. Carr,
Here.
President Niedermeyer.
Here. And that completes the roll. We have a quorum. Could everyone please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge of allegiance to the flag
To the flag of the United States of America,
republic for which it
which
stands,
stands one nation under God, indivisible,
with
with
liberty
liberty and justice for all.
All right, welcome everybody. And thank you again, Alex, for doing such an awesome job getting the meeting started. A quick background, as I said, Alex and her parents are residents. She is the granddaughter of our very own trustee Carr. She started sixth grade today at Pleasantdale Elementary School. Her parents won the Mayor for a Day experience at the Pleasantdale PTO fundraiser back in spring of 2019, just before the pandemic hit. She's here tonight and she's helping us. She also helped last Thursday to kick off Willow Fest. Alex, I hope you enjoyed your Mayor for the Day experience. It has been fun and an honor to participate with you. Thank you. I love seeing the community's kids take interest and involvement in our community. And Alex said that she would be willing to stay up here with us for the rest of the meeting. So, with that, we will move on to presentations. And the first is a presentation for the appointment of Michelle Cipriani as a full-time police officer. Welcome, Michelle. All right, very good. Thank you, and congratulations again. We will move on to disposition of previous minutes. In our board pack, we have combined committee and board meeting minutes from July 15th, 2021. There were two small amendments to those. One, adding the name of Mary Jane Manella, who gave the Water Commission report. So we will add that to the minutes, as well as separating out the two motions that were made in the finance report. So with those amendments, I may ask for a motion to approve the minutes.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by trustee Micah, second by trustee Ara. Any discussion? Okay, roll call vote, please.
Trustee Ara,
Aye.
Kennedy,
Aye.
Micah,
Aye.
Posh,
Aye.
Moon, Carr,
And that completes the roll. All ayes, motion carries. Those minutes are approved. Next, we will move on to the reports of the officials, and the first is that of the village president. I have a few agenda items this evening, but first I want to say a few words before we get to those. First, you may notice that Administrator Brent Woods is not here tonight. He's typically, of course, a fixture up here, and he resigned on good terms about 1 month ago, but he has begun a new position with another municipality. We are on very good terms. He has expressed his love for this village. He was very dedicated and a pleasure to work with him, of course. We wish him all the best in his new role. Next thing to report on is Willow Fest. Of course, Willow Fest, I think it was a huge success. Not sure what more I can say. I'm going to invite the other board members and officials to say any feedback throughout the meeting as their reports come up, but I will just say a tremendous thank you to everyone that made it possible. Our volunteers, our staff, our sponsors, our vendors and neighbors who donated resources. It was the result of a lot of hard work. There's no question about it. And it all came together beautifully. So we lucked out also on fantastic weather. That was something we had no control over, but I think it was a fun time. And it really showcased Willow Springs as a top-notch village that we're all so proud of. An announcement, we are still accepting nominations for our Park and Recreation Commission. So if you go to our village website, there is a field where you can nominate yourself. We've had some people do that. So we've got some candidates as we're assembling this Parks and Recreation Commission. Those nominations are being accepted till August 31st. So please take a look at that if you're interested, and then we will keep you updated on the progress for that. Okay, moving on now to the agenda items. First is that of appointment of Clerk Lori Charles. I want to say that Lori has been acting clerk for about 2 months now. She's been doing amazing in transitioning into the new role of clerk, while also helping training our new office staff, and now also assisting with some of the duties that belong to Administrator Woods as he has left. It is with wholehearted support that I ask for a motion to appoint Lori Charles to the position of Willow Springs Village Clerk.
Second.
We have the motion by trustee Posh, the second by trustee Carr. Discussion? Roll call vote.
Trustee Ara,
Aye.
Kennedy,
Aye.
Micah,
Aye.
Posh, Moon, Carr.
All ayes and motion carries. We will now have Clerk Charles take her oath. Congratulations again, Lori, and thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you, Eric, for administering the oath. The next agenda item that we have is the consideration of the IGA with the MWRD for the purchase of 8200 Wolf Road through the Flood Prone Properties Program. So a little background on this, what it is, if you recall the horrible storms in May of 2020 that actually resulted in horrible floods for a lot of people, the property at 8200 Wolf Road was experiencing devastating flooding, and it prompted an application to the MWRD for their Flood Prone Properties Purchase Program. The MWRD selected 8200 Wolf Road as part of the program. So in order to proceed forward with that, we would need to enter into an IGA. However, the MWRD legal department has not actually given us that IGA yet. So we put it on here in hopes that we would have it, but we do not have it yet. So we are going to pass on this tonight, and hopefully we will have it and we will be able to entertain a motion at our next meeting on this. So we will move on to number 3, which is consideration of the ordinance of 2020-0-12, amending Title 10, Chapter 1, Section 8 of the Willow Springs Municipal Code regarding disturbances of the peace. Now, this is adding a Section F, making it a finable expense for falsely or unreasonably calling 911. The fine, as it reads in the ordinance, would be anywhere from $100 to $750, and it would be handled through our village adjudication process. We always want people to call 911 in case of emergency, of course. This is reserved for instances that there are egregious calls, unreasonable, or a matter of pranking. And this was suggested to us by Chief based on some of the circumstances as a good thing for us to do. And so we thank you for, suggesting it, and we have it before us tonight. So I will ask for a motion to approve ordinance 2021-0-12.
So make that a motion.
Motion by trustee Micah, second by trustee Ara. Discussion? There being none, roll call vote.
Trustee Ara,
Aye.
Kennedy,
Aye.
Micah,
Aye.
Posh,
Aye.
Moon, Carr.
All ayes, motion carries, and that ordinance is approved. On to the next item, which is the appointment of Nancy Mygeist to the Beautification Commission for a term expiring April 30th, 2022. Nancy Mygeist is a resident in our community. She already volunteers her time to the Beautification Commission. She would be filling the vacancy left by Commissioner Jamie McDaniel, who recently resigned because she needed more time to take on other commitments. We're very excited to have Nancy be on the commission. Nancy, are you here tonight? Hi, Nancy, please stand up. Thank you very much for being willing to take on this role as commissioner. With that, thank you for being here tonight too, and I will ask for a motion to approve the appointment.
So moved. Second.
The motion by trustee Ara, the second by trustee Posh. Discussion? Okay, roll call vote.
Trustee Ara.
Aye.
Kennedy,
Aye.
Micah,
Aye.
Posh,
Aye.
Moon, Carr.
Aye.
All ayes and motion carries. Nancy, thank you.
Thank you.
Another appointment to the Beautification Commission. That is for Jason Bugie. He's already on the commission, and Jason is very involved with the commission. This is renewing his term that had recently expired. As I said, he's a tremendous help to the commission. He donates a lot of his time, resources, and knowledge. I don't see Jason here tonight, but we thank him. I promise he is willing to accept the commission appointment. And with that, I will ask for a motion to approve that appointment.
So moved.
By trustee Carr, second by trustee Ara. Discussion?
Trustee Ara,
Aye.
Kennedy,
Aye.
Micah,
Aye.
Posh,
Aye.
Moon, Carr.
Aye.
All ayes and that carries. And as it says here, that term is expiring April 30th, 2023. So thank you for that. And that concludes the president's report. There is no administrator report tonight. So next is that for the village clerk.
I had a resident today, Carol Valdez. She came in this morning and she asked me to read a letter regarding the Willow Fest and the car show. She just had some comments she'd like me to read. So what she had to say was, great job to everyone involved in the setup, takedown, organizing, and planning this event. She loved the rainbow cones and food options. The shuttle buses were a big hit. She heard many good comments about that. There was a nice selection of rides and various amusements. A suggestion for next year: have some seating over by the rides. There was no place for people to sit, especially for the older people who came. Thanks again for a job well done, Carol Valdez. Also, next year, if all fest info would be on the website under events. That concludes my report.
Clerk Charles. Just making note of those. All right. Moving on now to report of village engineer. There is none. So village attorney Eric Peck.
Thank you, Madam President. There is one item under the village attorney's report this evening for the board's consideration, and that is approval of ordinance 2021-0-13 with regard to disposal of village-owned surplus property. If passed, this ordinance would authorize the sale or disposal by the village of a 1997 trailer, VIN number 44KFT 4289 VWZ 18324. And that's before you for your consideration this evening.
Okay, is there a motion to approve that ordinance?
Aye. Second.
Motion by trustee Ara, second by trustee Micah. Discussion? Roll call vote.
Trustee Ara.
Aye.
Kennedy,
Aye.
Micah,
Aye.
Posh,
Aye.
Moon, Carr.
All ayes, and that ordinance is approved.
And there's nothing further this evening, Madam President.
Thanks, Attorney Peck. Village Treasurer, there is no report tonight, so we'll move on to reports of standing committee. First is Finance and Administration Committee, trustee Ara.
Thank you, Madam President. I'd like to make a motion to approve item 6A1, warrant number 21-0-014 dated July 22nd, 2021. Payroll and expenses in the amount of $118,603.46. All fund expenses in the amount of $155,000.31 for a total of $233,603.77.
And did you make the motion, trustee Ara?
Yes.
So I need a second
Second.
by trustee Carr. Discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Trustee Ara,
Aye.
Kennedy,
Aye.
Micah,
Aye.
Posh,
Aye.
Moon, Carr.
All ayes, and those warrants are approved.
Next, I would like to make another motion to approve item 6A2, warrant number 21-0-15 dated August 12th, 2021. Payroll and expenses in the amount of $87,259.22. All fund expenses in the amount of $255,450.04 for a total of $342,709.26.
Okay, and we have the motion by trustee Ara. Is there a second?
Second.
By trustee Micah. Discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Trustee Ara,
Aye.
Kennedy,
Aye.
Micah,
Aye.
Posh, Moon, Carr.
Aye.
All ayes, and those warrants are approved.
Madam President, I'd just like to take a moment and talk a little bit about Willow Fest. I was heavily involved in it. The leadership that you provided and others in Willow Fest was really good. And I think the event turned out really well. There was a lot of effort put in by a lot of people at this table, as well as others that work for the town. Just want to acknowledge, I had the car show. I was running the car show this year, and I had a small group of people, but they were all very important to make that thing happen. And it was Jan Posh, Linda Ara, Keith Grantlin, and the whole Public Works group. It was fantastic. And trustees, Micah and Posh. Then the volunteers that we had were tremendous. And then the police, CSO, really helped out a lot. Coordination was fantastic. Fortunately, we were able to have a lot of sponsorship, both local and nationally, to help with the gifts and the funding of the T-shirts that were given away to car show participants. So we had some premier supporters such as Nino's, Gemcom, and Spring Forest, all from Willow Springs, and then Steak and Egger. They were premier sponsors. We had a lot of other smaller sponsors inside and outside the town. So I appreciate all that. Just so everybody understands what it took to do, we had a little smaller than normal turnout, but it was a weather thing for car guys. That's just one of the things that sometimes they just don't want to bring their cars out. But we had 204 cars registered. Our 50-50 raised over raised $970 to a single winner, which also goes to the benefit here of the Veterans Committee. And then total profits that we had were over $4,400. So that just goes right back into our kitties so that we can disperse it. We'll be talking later about that this year, about where we want it to go to. But there was a lot of positive comments that came out of that, but it was also a lot of work. I know it took me a little while to recover. So, but I want to thank everybody that was involved and in the Willow Fest committee in particular. So thank you.
Thank you, Tom. We will move on to Public Safety Committee. Trustee Kennedy, he is joining us by Zoom, everyone.
First off, I'd like to congratulate Lori Charles for your new position or appointment of your new position. Lori's been with us for a long time, and what her and Katana do in that office is completely amazing. So you deserve a big hand of applause there. And then also, thanks for all the volunteers for Willow Fest. It turned out to be a great event. And then finally, I'd like to make a motion for the authorization to make an expenditure of up to $45,000 for the purchase of a new squad car.
Okay, so this is the agenda item. I'll ask for the motion, and Mike has made the motion. Is there a second? Second by Trustee Carr. Is there any discussion on that? Chief, anything you'd like to add about it? I know that with the expenditure of these squads, as everyone knows, there is quite a backup in getting vehicles these days. And so this is the authorization for the expenditure. So we do have the opportunity to do that now. There's really no telling when we might get one, right?
There's just a tremendous delay in the order. Chips coming in, because we're still waiting on the one that we had approved last year. And who knows when we're gonna get that, maybe late fall, early, so it's just sort of projected for the future. If we order it now, maybe we'll get it by next summer, fall, hopefully, if anything changes with that. So it's just a tremendous backlog on, with all the police related packages, squad car packages all over. So every department's running about the same dilemma that we are with the backlog on cars. So it's sort of just preparing to order it now. Hopefully we get it by the middle of 2022 or the end of 2022.
Okay, any further discussion on this item?
So then this is already in the budget as I
Yes,
recall. So we're being financially stringent about what we do, but this may have to roll into next year's budget. So
Correct. Depending on the timing of when we actually incur the expense, it might roll into
but
next.
we
year's
need to
budget.
get the order in.
Correct.
Correct, yeah. And there's still a backup on the computer chips going into cars. So that's one of the reasons we want to get the ball rolling.
Okay, thank you, Mike, and everyone. Any further discussion? Okay, roll call vote.
Trustee Ara?
Aye.
Kennedy?
Aye.
Micah?
Aye.
Posh? Moon? Carr?
All eyes and that carries. Mike, did you have anything else to report on?
No, that concludes my report unless Chief has anything to add.
Okay, thank you, Mike. Chief?
I presented to the board the overview of our 81 incident reports since August 1st till today. The troops out there issued 77 parking traffic citations, and handled 18 motor vehicle accidents. As noted in the report, that I'd like to echo off of trustee Ara's. I'd like to commend President Nettmeyer and her committee for just I won't mention all names because I know I'll forget one or two, but it was a pleasure to work with everyone on that committee, and they just did a phenomenal job. And same thing like trustee Kennedy and Ara said, I received so many compliments of the setup on it, and just the friendliness of all the people in the great crowd. So each of you, kudos to each of you. It was a pleasure to work with you with that. Also like to mention tomorrow, we have the, I always used to say Top on the Roof program with Special Olympics Illinois, but now it's called Coffee for the Champions of those special athletes from Special Olympics. So we'll be out on Willow Springs Road over at our Dunkin' Donuts at the Speedway gas station. The event runs from 5 in the morning until noon. And for every donation and contribution made to Special Olympics, you get a coupon for a free donut. And then for a $10 donation, you get a nice law enforcement torch run coffee mug. And I think you get coffee for free all day at Dunkin' Donuts that day. So looking forward to seeing everyone come out there tomorrow, just for one of the most phenomenal organizations that I've dealt with for many years on there with Special Olympics, that helps out a lot of the people that need a little bit more help than we do in going through the struggles of life. So it's a great organization. Hope to see everybody out there. Last thing I'd like to say, attended the funeral this morning of Chicago police officer Ella French, and it was just a magnificent turnout from law enforcement agencies throughout the country. It was just an outstanding send off for Officer French, who lost her life in the line of duty, and it was well attended. But the thing that we spoke about, and one of our other officers attended with me, the funeral procession started at 79th at Western Avenue. At St. Rita High School. And the procession went eastbound on 79th Street up to 94, the highway going up there. And if you're not familiar with that area going up there, that's the most dangerous area, one of the most dangerous areas in the city, with the highest crime rates and highest shootings and everything going on there. And the procession was miles long. And when we went down 79th Street east from Western Avenue, there were hundreds of area residents there who were standing out there with the American flags and the blue flags, saluting, blowing kisses, and saying thank you to all the officers going by, which is something that I don't think you're going to see on the media reported on the television. But it was really heartwarming to see that community there, who we might hear differently reported from the media, to show how much support that they had for Officer French, the Chicago police officers, and everybody in law enforcement in general who traveled down that road. It was something that really would take you back, because you wouldn't think you would hear that as it's published on the media. And I think it was just a tremendous credit to that village for that area of the city, what they're going through with the high violent crimes that are taking place there, to see such support that came out there for Chicago police officers and Officer Ella French and law enforcement. It was something that was really heartwarming and taken back. So that concludes my report, Mayor.
Thanks, Chief. Glad you were able to participate in that, and looking forward to tomorrow with the fundraiser for the Special Olympics. Question about that. So if people are wanting to donate, because this is our first time being able to have it at this Dunkin' Donuts. In the past, we weren't able to have it there. Are we just collecting donations actually at the store, or are we also collecting donations like out towards the road area?
We can take those, because we're selling T-shirts for
Okay.
$20. The mugs are $10. We can take orders from there, but we're going to be sort of blocking off the street. And
That's what I was wondering. Okay.
So we'll be be out there starting about 4 to 5. This guy who does so much for the village out there, he's gonna help us out there, set up our trailer and get some stuff ready. And I can't, like it's just Keith does such a phenomenal job for the village. And he was out there from morning till night, wee hours of the night, all the work he did on that fest along with everybody else from the committee. And so we'll have his smiling face out there too, as he tells me early in the morning. So
Okay.
looking forward to seeing everybody.
All right, very good. It should be made mention that during Willow Fest, the village, of course, we handled and we provided the beer sales. And if you were there and you remember, there was a tip jar put out and people were leaving tips. So all of those tips that were collected are going to be given tomorrow to the Special Olympics as a donation. There's a good amount there, and we're happy that we can make that contribution as well. It's all for a really good cause. So looking forward to tomorrow. Thanks again, Chief. And Alex, if you want to start, do you want to read this one? Who's up next?
Municipal Buildings and Grounds Committee, trustee Micah.
Thank you, Madam President. I do not have a report, but I would like to thank Keith and his crew on the tremendous job they did with Willow Fest and setting up and keeping everything organized and clean, and all the volunteers. And I also like to thank Chief Jim over there for keeping us safe and organizing all the traffic and everything and keeping everything going at the fest. Thank you, guys.
That concludes your report.
That concludes.
Public Works Committee, trustee Posh.
Thank you, Madam President and Assistant. Keith has signed a contract with Rainbow Farms for leaf pickup in the fall. We're carrying the same price of $650 per load like we did last year. Public Works is looking to purchase and install a pressure washer attachment for sewer jetter in the amount of $4,182. He has also contacted salt providers for winter salt contracts. Had a pre-con meeting with M&J for the 2021 road project, which should start within the next 2 to 3 weeks. The school sewer project is complete for the Pleasantdale Elementary School, which has been in the works for probably a couple of years now. And it's really close to being done probably tomorrow. The Vinewood Sewer Project will start next week. Huge thank you to the board and our Public Works crew for the great job on Willow Fest. And before I ask Keith if he has anything else, you might have noticed that trophy that was won by Keith, I, and Chief, and Patrolman Steve. You might see that go by your house. I think it's like, where's Waldo? Everywhere Keith goes, that thing pops up. So we're kind of proud. Missy said we couldn't come home from the outing unless we brought the trophy home. So we did. So before I move on to my beautification report, if you have anything you want to add? Oh, okay. Beautification Commission would like to thank Public Works for all their help and tireless hours of work they provided before, during, and after Willow Fest. They'd like to thank all our volunteers who helped make this year a success. They would also like to thank the fest people that attended, enjoyed, and continue to support our beautification efforts in Willow Springs. There will not be a meeting in August. Next meeting will be September 14th at 3:30. Check the village website for details. Willow Fest was a success with their water, juice, and bingo 50-50 raffle with a profit of $2,705.66. Remax Realtors and Beautification will be holding a paper shredding day on Saturday, September 18th from 9 to 11, and will be at the Remax building at 8728 South Archer. Any donations will also go to the Beautification Commission. And finally, Willow on the Hill subdivision entrance will get a new look. Planting will begin on Saturday, October 9th. And that concludes my report.
License and Franchises Committee, trustee Moon. Building and Zoning Committee, trustee Carr.
Afraid you were gonna fire me.
Can't get there, Lucky. Get in line.
First of all, I could name names forever of everyone who did such a great job with the Willow Fest. I made a point of walking around and listening, and I didn't hear one negative comment. Everything was positive. They loved the carnival. The fireworks were amazing. The mix of food vendors that we had and the job that they did was fantastic. It was just a well-run event, Madam Mayor. You did a good job. Let's move on to the building department reports. We had an extremely busy month for July. There were 55 permits issued. Total construction cost was $1,224,776. That resulted in permit revenue of $43,350. And taking it for the year through July, that's 247 permits issued, $3,902,380 of construction value, resulting in permit fees of $131,728. That concludes the report.
Madam President, I would like to I got an update from Springfield on a couple of new trade laws that are coming down, which I think would be important to the village to hear. The first one is House Bill 267. It creates the Local Government Residential Inspection Limitation Act, provides that except for a fire, medical, or police emergency, a unit of local government may not conduct a physical inspection of residential property without the voluntary consent of the owner of the property, a lawful warrant, or court order. That was referred back to the House rules. And what that is, to explain that is, we get phone calls here from people living in rented residential houses and apartments. And they'll call and say, you know what, the landlord isn't doing anything. I want you to come out here and write this up. Well, we just can't go out to that house or residential property because they don't own it. I had one last week complain about mold in her bathroom. I says, okay, give me your landlord's number and I will call him and he'll meet me out there. And she goes, no, I want you to come out. I'll let you in. I can't go out there unless the owner is there. And the reason this is going down is I believe with what's been going on for 2 years with renters in apartments and houses, that we just can't go in there and start finding these owners of this property who haven't been paid rent for two years, year and a half. The second one has to do with radon, and I've been getting a lot of these permits in here. It amends the Radon Industry Licensing Act. It provides that all the electronic radon detection devices sold in the state to individuals licensed in accordance with the act must be calibrated to ensure the accuracy and precision. That one was passed in the House and reverted to the Senate. And what that is they have these companies now going out there checking houses for radon. And he could be walking over there with his phone and say, oh my God, you know, you have radon in your basement, it's going to be $12,000 sign here. Make sure that they have their tester and it has to be calibrated by the state of Illinois in order for them to test for radon. And the third one, I think we're all going to like this one. House Bill 3195 provides that any multiple occupancy restroom may be identified as an all-gender multiple occupancy restroom and designated for use by any person of any gender. Requires that an all-gender multiple occupancy restroom must include specific signage, stall dividers, and partitions for urinals,
Any multiple occupancy restroom may be converted into an all-gender multiple occupancy restroom. Provides a method to determine a number of required fixtures, requires the Illinois Department of Public Health to adopt rules to implement the provisions. Now, this passed the House on a first reading in the Senate. And what this is this building here, our bathrooms that are over here, right in the corner. If the federal government comes in here and says those have to be all gender. Now, the all gender rule is it's a single bathroom with a lock on the door. So people can't go in and out. But this is going to change now to where you can have a bathroom with a urinal and 2 stalls, and it can be all gender in there. So that's coming down the pipe. And that one was passed in the Senate. So just for information.
Thank you, Bruce, for those updates. Very much appreciated. I think Chief had something to add.
It's been a long day and I forgot to mention, like to welcome Officer Michelle Cipriani to the Willow Springs Police Department. She's going to be a tremendous addition to our department. For many that know Michelle, who might have met, she worked for us part-time for a time, and then her goal was to be full-time. And she got hired by another agency full-time. But I think if I speak for her love for this community has always been here. And that's why she wanted to come back here. And we were fortunate to bring her back. And I think each of you will be very proud of the job that she's done for you that don't know her. And she brings a tremendous law enforcement background with her. And I think she's going to make the community very proud of the job that she performs. And I apologize for getting to mention that earlier. It's been a long day, but we welcome Michelle. And like I said, you guys are going to be very proud of the job that she's done. She's an outstanding police officer.
Welcome. Yeah. And congratulations again. Okay. We can move on to that one.
Mayor, have we completed trustee Carr's report?
Yes. Yes. Did you have something, Mike?
No, I must have missed it. Sorry.
Okay. All right. So the next item then is,
Old business.
and there's no old business tonight.
There is also no new business.
Very good. So we'll open it up to public comment then.
Somebody signed up.
I do have something though.
There's nobody signed up tonight in the boardroom. Is that correct?
Yeah, when I just checked the sheet.
Okay.
there's nobody.
Okay. And Lori's got some comments that were submitted in writing, but first I want to check with participants on Zoom. Is there anybody on Zoom that is wishing to make public comment? Is there anybody on Zoom wishing to make public comment? Oh.
Trying to be a volunteer. I didn't have the opportunity to jump on the curb. Made a damn fool of myself. But I had a replacement, one ticket, my place did a pretty good job. My grandson, Cherry. I had to see all over the place. He did a tremendous job working with the mayor. Keep. For the last 40 years. That's why I had to take a bird's eye view. I look across the street, the top floor. I can see the whole thing going on. That's all I go out there with. 5:30 in the morning, when it's touching the light, that's not keep out there with this crew. At midnight. We'll use the lights that you can. Thank all our neighbors. We must be doing a pretty good job. Our neighbors showed up the way they do. the police department, firefighters. I was just proud that I was part of this. My son is a trustee, grandson of strong plus. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That means the world, Commissioner Carr. Okay, I don't think that we have anyone wishing to participate from Zoom that I can see. So then Lori, why don't you, we have some comments that were submitted by writing that Lori's going to read in for record.
Just want me to read them or you're not going to answer them?
You can go ahead and read them and then I can
Okay.
answer what I can, and what I can't, I will get the answers and get them to the person that wrote them.
So these questions are from one of our residents, Carol Valdez. She has questions regarding the Willowbrook property. She'd like to know who exactly is the new builder? Is the name Apex or question mark?
I can, sorry to interrupt, Lori, I can answer that one pretty easily. That is, it is Apex. So Ms. Valdez is right about that. And that was made clear at the last board meeting when we had the consideration of the SSA before us, that the new construction company's name is Apex.
Has anyone actually vetted this builder? Are they reputable? How long in business?
I think that we can say that they are a reputable builder. They have a lot of projects here in the area. But what I want to also point out with that is that some of these members of Apex were formerly with Madison, and they were a part of this project from the onset when it was first proposed to us. So I think that sufficiently answers that question.
Okay. Did the board know about new builder and when were they told?
I'll go ahead and answer that one as well. We found out about the new builder when we were approached with the modifications to the SSA in that time frame about a month ago.
Will the new builder be presenting their plans at a meeting and explaining about the rentals?
Again, and I think this was mentioned at the last meeting, but I'll make it more clear now, that the plans did not change. And any changes to the plans would need to come before planning and zoning and the board. So I guess to answer that is, will they be presenting their plans? If there are any changes, then yes, of course, they'll have to follow the procedures and come before the board to make those changes. Would you say that's fair, Bruce?
Yes.
Yeah.
In fact, Rick helped me carry, I just got 3 great big set of plans, and Rick helped me carry them to the office. So they'll be going out to Kesselin Engineering.
Okay, and then the last question. How much was the bond that was voted on at the last meeting? Was any of that spent? If so, on what?
And I see that one, and I see the one that she asked, I've got a copy as well, right before that, explaining about the rentals. So I think what I'm going to do is follow up with a conversation to Carol, because I'd want to get some more details for her to answer those. I don't have that information at this time.
And that's the end of the questions.
All right, any additional public comment? And there is no need for executive session tonight, so I'm going to ask Madam Mayor Carr here to adjourn the meeting for us.
May I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
So moved.
Motion by trustee Posh
Motion by trustee Posh
and the second by trustee Ara.
and the second by trustee Ara.
Is there any discussion?
Roll call.
Trustee Ara? Kennedy?
Aye.
Micah?
Aye.
Tosh?
Aye.
Moon? Carr?
All ayes. This meeting is adjourned at 7:51 PM, August 19th, 2021.
Good job.
Great job. Thank you, everybody. And then I can start the rights.
All right.
You did a good job.
My dear, great job, Mayor, of the day. The best wonderful job. My kids were little. Thanks for seeing that.
Okay, Chief, I've got the envelope.
Sounds good. Thank you, sir.
No. Well, your ride to the doctor is in